Thanks for coming. As I was introduced, my name is Rachel McKane, and I'm going to do a brief history of GIS this morning. For those who, I was just saying to a few people before we started, I did this talk at the Women Tech Makers Belfast last month, so it's pretty much exactly the same talk with the addition of a demo. So I'd say if you've seen it before, apologies. You can go on Twitter and find out what Trump is up to right now or something instead for the first 10 minutes. In terms of a bit of background about myself before I get started, I work for Esri Ireland as a customer success manager, but how I got into GIS is a bit of a convoluted story. So my first degree was actually hospitality management, where I worked in hotels and restaurants, and then went on to do a master's in computer science. Worked in London for a while as an Oracle financials developer, and then came back to Northern Ireland and joined Ordnance Survey as an Oracle database administrator. So that's how I got started. I've been working in spatial GIS and mapping for sort of the last probably 15 years, so I have a bit of experience in it. This is only the second time I've spoken at a conference, and this will be my first live demo, so of course it's going to be stupendous and the best demo you've ever seen. Not. So I'm just going to get started. So GIS, I take it everybody in the room knows what GIS is, what it stands for? Yes, no, maybe? No? Okay. So it's Geographic Information Systems. And Wikipedia states that GIS, or a Geographic Information System, is a system designed to capture, store, manipulate, analyse, manage and present data. Bit of a mouthful, isn't it? So is there an easier way? Well, what if we thought about it like this? It is, everything happens somewhere. So we're here today, we're at a conference, we're in Riddell Hall. So it happens somewhere, okay? So that's what GIS is really about, and it's allowing us to visualize that relationship between the what and the where. It can help solve complex problems and make better decisions and save lives. So, what does Jon Snow have to do with GIS? Well, I did tell you I was going to give you the history of GIS. I know Game of Thrones did not invent GIS. However, a Dr. Jon Snow did invent and really start the whole principle of GIS. We have a first example of him linking the what with where was back in 1854, believe it or not. And this is the original map. And it was around the time of the cholera outbreak in London. At the time, people believed that the disease was being spread through the air. But the English doctor, Jon Snow, he wasn't convinced. So he decided to map the outbreak, locations, the roads, the property boundaries and the lines. And when he did, he made a startling discovery. A pattern emerged. This pattern proved that the disease was not in fact airborne, but was being communicated via water, and even more specifically by one water pump. His cholera map was a major event connecting the what with the where. Not only was this beginning of spatial analysis, it was also marked the start of a whole new field of study, epidemiology, the study of the spread of disease. This work demonstrated that GIS can be used as a problem-solving tool. He put the what on a map to show the where and made a life-saving discovery. As you can imagine, GIS has come a long way since 1854. Up until 1960, there was no such thing as computer mapping. Paper maps were created laboriously by hand, making real analysis almost impossible, and the currency of the data was non-existent. As soon as it was on the paper, it was out of date. But then in the period between 1960 to 1975, due to three major advancements in technology, GIS really started to take off. These were the ability to output map graphics using line printers, the advances in data storage with mainframe computers, and we now had the ability to record coordinates as data inputs. Since then, GIS has grown with each new technological advancement. Today, GIS is based pretty much in every business sector across the world. It is used to identify problems, to monitor change, and to manage and respond to events, to perform forecasting, to set priorities, and to understand trends. So I just have a few slides here of examples. This is, I'm from Esri, so these are Esri examples. We have a coolmaps.arcgis.com, which is where the cool guys in Esri over in Redlands get to play with the latest and greatest. So they get to show you real-time information, bringing data together, helping to make real decisions. So this one's just explaining where collisions are happening in New York City, whether it's bike, man, or a car. We also have another one which is all, if you go online, it's all interactive and you can actually see that everything moves around, but it's just showing global migration data. A lot of the information on these slides are actually, it's from open data sources, so it's not proprietary in any way. This information comes from the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs. And that's your inbound and that's your outbound. Okay, so I'm here, I work for Esri Ireland, so I thought I'd give you a bit of an overview of Esri Inc, the company. So Jack and Laura, husband and wife, co-founded the company in 1969. Esri stands for Environmental Systems Research Institute. Not that anybody says that anymore, we just say Esri. We are the largest mapping company in the world with 40% of the global market. Apparently, it's the 5th largest privately held software company in the world. Our strapline for a while used to be the biggest IT company nobody's ever heard of. It was the same sort of size as Oracle, Apple, but you know, unless you were a real die-in-the-wool GIS fan, you would never have heard of us. We do a lot of reinvestment into R&D, so our online system that I'm going to demo shortly, it's continually being updated almost on a daily basis with new and exciting things to play with. We have a developer program, which I'm going to go on to as well in a moment. But just to give you the sort of size, I've yet to go to the Esri conference in San Diego. I'm still hoping someday. But it's a week-long conference, a bit like the Oracle, over 16,000 people at it. And apparently it is a sight to behold. The Esri UK conference was actually just 2 weeks ago. And there's normally 2,000 to 3,000 delegates at that. And one of my projects for NI Water actually won a Customer Success Award at it. So I'll chat. I wasn't at it either, but you know. In terms of jobs and location and then what we do, so they're saying that in 2016 the global GIS market was valued at 5.52 billion, so it just shows you the amount of money and jobs that are available across the world. And then bring it back closer to home, Esri Ireland is the sort of the sister branch of Esri UK, so across the water we employ about 500 people. We have offices right across the island, and here in Ireland we have just over 50 people. We also contract staff in for working with our customers across Ireland and Northern Ireland. We actually have an office in Hollywood, not a lot of people know that. That's where I'm based, and we have 13 people now who just got a new starting next month. So the sort of roles that are available are typical sort of IT roles. So we have support desk, we have our GIS consultants who do the real heavy lifting and all the work with our customers, and we have different types of levels there. We also have a GIS developer, so although a lot of what we do is configuration straight out of the box, there are times when we need to develop new widgets or interfaces, and that's primarily done in Python or JavaScript. Same solution architects, we all know what they are. And then my role is customer success manager, so we get to do a bit of everything, sort of umbrella title. We work with our customers in terms of large projects and manage the relationship with our customers, and also sort of technical advisors. So we will go in and discuss what are your issues, what is it you're trying to solve. In very small text at the bottom, there are other vendors available, but I'm not here to talk about them. So there is open source as well, things like QGIS. There are other things out there, but I'm going to be talking about Esri. So yes, just wanted to go on to the ArcGIS Developer Program. So it's online, it's freely available. There are different subscription levels. The demo that I'm going to do today is using the basic, so I'm not paying for anything. You get access to quite a lot of the Esri software online for development, and there are other levels where if you're wanting more access to more of the stuff, you have to pay a little bit more. But it's just to give you a flavour. As I said, I created myself a developer account about 3 weeks ago to do this demo. Took all of 3 minutes, and no money changed hands, no credit card details needed to be given. So where am I? Okay, yes, so we're going to go on to the live demo. Right. This is where it's all going to go horribly wrong. So I'm going to do 2 or 3 things here. First of all, I'm using open data. So these are 2 CSV files that I downloaded from opendata.ni.gov. And it's to do with Belfast bikes. So the first one just has locations. It has eastings and northings, longitude, latitude, location and a station number. And then the second one has more information about rentals and returns. So I'm going to show how we can bring all that information together and create a dashboard. But to begin with, I shall go, so this is the, if you sign up, you're a developer, you get this dashboard, you get access to all of these things, you get to play, and you get access to ArcGIS Online. So this is our online resource, and here is my account. I have done nothing to this other than added my name, but this is the front page that you would see if you're, whether you're using the licensing one for enterprise or whatever. I'm going to go into my content, and you'll see I've done a little bit of prep, but basically the first thing I'm going to do is create a map. So I want to show how easy it is to create a map. So we are Belfast bikes, and I'm going to add some tags so we can search for it, and this is going to be locations of Belfast bike stations. Hit OK. So first thing it does is it brings up a map. Because I normally have 2 screens to do these things, so hold on a minute. Just want to show how easy it is to actually bring data in. So this is the data with the location information, and I'm basically just going to bring it in to Eagle. And I want to place it on a map, and it's asking me what do I want to locate by, address, coordinates or none. If there's no actual coordinate information, I am going to use the latitude and longitude that was made available, and add layer. Immediately it adds points to your map and it zooms in. It also tries to color code it or try to give you some sort of attribution, but at the minute I just want to show location only. And I am going to change my symbol to transportation. Where are you, bikes? There you go. That's too small, so I'm going to make it bigger. So, okay, we have a map. Wow, what are we going to do with that? So, first of all, the other thing is the base maps. Eagle comes pre-cooked with Esri's free base map. It also has OpenStreetMap, as you can see there, so you can change the base map just like that and have your imagery. I think I'll change it to OpenStreetMap. Just there we go. So I'm going to save. So that's everything saved. Now I want to share it because, what use is it if nobody else can see it? So you have a number of ways of sharing it. I am going to make it public so that everyone can see it. I've decided I want to embed it into a website. I don't have a website, but you might have a website and you want to embed it. So this gives you some configuration that you can do here. You can add a symbol. So if you wanted to say I'm in Riddle Hall right now and you wanted to add that location, you could do that. You can add some functionality into it. I'm pretty much going to keep it as is. And what you have here is some HTML code. So I'm going to hit copy. I am then going to go back into my folder. So I have an HTML file prepared with nothing in it, and I copy and paste, and I have one thing to change, and I hit save, And this is where it lets me down. Oh no, okay. So there you go. There's your map. It's embedded. Hello world. Very simple, zoom in, zoom out, but you can obviously add other features to that. Okay. So that's my first demo, how to bring data onto a map, using OpenStreetMap and using open source data. So now that I have done that, what I want to do is I'm going to take that additional information that you saw, which was your rentals and returns, and at the minute there is no location information in it, although there is a station number, so I can match my data, I can join my data. To make things slightly quicker, I have already added in my Belfast Bike statistics. It's only a table, it's not in any way. So you can see it's come in as a table, nothing's appeared, nothing's changed on the map. What I should say is with AGOL you get a number of credits to do bigger things like analysis and things. So every month you get 50 credits in this developer's account, and as part it's free, and then if you use your 50 credits you have to wait till next month or else you pay for more. So to do this analysis I will be using credits. I've hit my analysis button, I want to summarize, I want to join features. It's just created a name, that's fine, I don't really mind about the name at the moment. So my target layer is my statistics, it's my stations, I am adding my statistics, I am choosing fields to match because there is no spatial relationship. I'm using station number in both, but it's a one-to-many relationship because the rentals and returns are per month over about a 2-year period. So I want to do a join one-to-many, and I have a resultant name there. Again, I can change that, so I'll take the date off it. And putting it into my folder that I have created, nidevconf. You have ability here before you run the analysis to show how many credits you're going to use. So there's over 1,000 records, and I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but it's going to use 1 credit. So that's a dot, not a comma on the second one. So it's total records, 1,000 credits going to be used 1. So I think I can afford that. So I hit run analysis and talk among yourselves. It doesn't take too long, she said, hopefully. So in the background, it's going to marry that up, and what it actually will do, instead of giving me I don't think it's 50 locations, it's going to give me those points every time, again. So that, you don't really want that on a map, but I'm going to want it to do my analysis that I'm going to show you. Okay, so it has, if I click on it now, you'll see 1 to 11, so there's 11 points there created now. It automatically, again, gives you a pop-up. So this is all the information that has from the 2 tables is now in your pop-up. I'm not interested in my table anymore, so I can remove it. I am still interested in my joins, but I don't want to see it, so I'm going to hide it. And I'm going to configure my pop-ups to be something nicer. So I'm going to have station number, and then station number. Whose idea was this? Configure attributes. So I'm going to take you off, but I'm taking out the 1,000 separator, keeping location, and then I'm basically going to turn everything else off because it's not really interesting. So hit OK, OK. So if I click on it now, all I'm getting is the station number and the location. That's all I'm interested in. I don't like my base map for this, so I'm going to change it and hit save. And we'll leave that, I think. So again, I want to share it, but what I'm going to do is create a web app. And I'm going to use Operations Dashboard. So Belfast Bike Statistics. How do you spell statistics? I think that's how you spell. And yep, share it with everyone. I'm not going to change anything else, and I'm going to hit done. So again, this goes in a way to create an operations dashboard for me, which at the minute just has a map. So what I want to do then is add more into it. So first of all, I'm going to add a header. I'm going to call it Belfast Bike Statistics, nice and simple. I prefer the dark theme just cause I do. And what do I want to do? I want to add in an indicator. So I am creating my join. So this is going to be how many rentals in total have ever happened in the Belfast bikes. So I'm summing, and I am selecting the field to sum, which is going to be my rentals. So there we go, 460,269 rentals so far via open data, or yeah, via the open data website information. And let me see, let's make this more interesting. I want to add an icon, and I know there's a bike icon somewhere. So there's a wee bike, and I'm going to change the color, make it green. Change the color and make it green. And I'm going to say total rentals so that we know what that is when we close it. So done. So now I have total rentals as well. Yay. I can then replicate that because I also want to know about returns, and I can just do duplicate and then go into configure, and I'm changing from rentals to returns, and I'm changing my title, returns, and let's make it red, just cause. And I want to change my icon, so they're a nice one, bike parking, and make that red too. Done. Okay, so it looks a bit of a mess at the moment, I know, but so we can play about with these, we can resize them. And so again, still not very exciting. It's, yeah, right, you give me some statistics, but now what I can do, because I start to have built this up, is I can add, where is it? Here. I can add a category selector. So that's the total number. So what about, I want to select it by year. I want to see what's actually happening over the year period. I can, if she remembers how to do it, the features, it's going to again go to be my joined features, and I have grouped values. My category field, which I've just remembered I didn't take my comma separator out of it, but you know, it's 2015. So I now have years in there. And if there's a place with no default, I will select year and select year. So done. So I have select year now, but at the minute that's not going to do anything for me. So I have to configure it to go to action. So if I select a year, I want something to happen. So what do I want to happen? Well, I want my two figures to filter. So I chosen filter as a selection, and I didn't name these very well because I'm doing a live demo and I've forgotten half of my script. But you know these are rentals and returned indicators. So I now hit done. So let's watch the figures and see if they move. I'm selecting 2015. What happens? They're changing. Let's select 2016. They're changing. 2017. They change. Okay. I can unselect everything. So it's got everything at the moment. Let's hit save. Okay. So the last one I was going to show is a serial chart, which is the one that I had the most fun with. So basically, you can do whatever you want based on the data. You just have to have lots of nice, rich data, and you can play with it. So what I was trying to do with this one was show it by location, by year, so by actual station. So if I go to date, and then I split by, should I split by location? I don't like that. No, split by year. So you're seeing from, she tries to hover over the map, so that's the 2015, the 1st of the 5th, 2015, because it's Americanized. A count, so I don't want a count, I want a sum as well. And I want to middles. So now you're starting to see, oh, funnily enough, there's peaks and troughs depending on weather, and you could bring in live weather information. This is obviously static data, but ops dashboards are primarily used for live information. You could also do that as well. If you're getting live feeds from the actual stations themselves, you could be seeing them coming in, going, I know where I need to, I now know there's no bikes left over in that station, so we need to get out there. So I can add that in as well, and then you can start to play about with moving things around. And I want a bit more map. And then the last thing I was going to do was add in embedded content. And excuse me while I go to my spreadsheet. Get this. Done. So that's actually the live Belfast website embedded in. So if you actually were a user, you could, sign in yourself and see that. And there's the information. With the map as well, you can configure so that when the map extent changes, we can add targets again to our indicators and our. And when we add, we can filter. Done. So now, live demo, yes. So you zoom in and out, your figures are also changing. Again, that was this, you saw how simple that was to configure. But also you may be interested in, so this is the one up at yesterday Square. That is a relatively new one. So you can, don't let me down now, it's been doing so well. You can select point, and it's seriously the last thing I go to do. It should be able to. I knew something would go wrong. You can select a point on the map, and again it would change the. I think that went okay for a first live demo, and believe it or not, time's nearly up. So just in closing, because I always have to do my 2 bits, as British Computer Society, Chartered Institute for IT. I am the chair, and my vice chair, who ably comes along and supports me in everything I do. Thank you, Sinead. We run the committee for the last 2 years. We have 1 more year left. So we're always looking for new members. We are always looking for ideas for events. So we hold 3 to 4 events a year. We're always looking for volunteers, and we're definitely looking for committee members. So if anyone's interested, follow us on Twitter, BCS_NI. You'll find us also on Facebook and LinkedIn, and we have a website. Our next event coming up is actually our BCS Awards in 2 weeks' time, where we're presenting the IT Professional of the Year, the Young IT Professional of the Year, and for the first time ever, the IT Educator of the Year, where we're working with schools and computing with schools in Northern Ireland, and Dr. Irene Bell, if anyone knows her. I think I've run out of breath, so thank you very much for listening. I don't know if there's any time left for questions. Yes, there's no time left for questions. Sorry guys, thank you very much.